Okay, have we got a connection? It looks like we've got a connection here. Dave here, how are you? Today is the 9th, I think, of June 2019. I don't know if anyone can see me or hear me because I haven't got the specs on. Give me a second. Let me know if we're coming through. And it's a broadcast from my phone actually in the show. So if someone could let me know what's happening, that'd be great. Now you can see all the timber behind me. What we're going to do is have a quick little look around through this. I'm going to switch this. I will leave the screens on. Okay, Ken, how are you, buddy? Okay, so it looks like it's coming through all right. Is the quality okay, or is it pretty rough? Don't worry about my head. Okay, so have a look at this timber. This is camphor laurel, and it's pretty nice. I bought some of it. Oh, thanks. Good. Thanks, Papa Mo. I bought a piece of this the other day. I'll put a post on Facebook. You're at the same place, are you, Ken? Okay, and look over here. So these are some of the Australian hardwoods. So look at this, $800 for this chunk of timber. Now I'm hoping the picture is coming through the right orientation, because as I say, this is out of my phone. I'm also hoping I've got enough battery in here. But absolutely beautiful. Some of the stuff here is amazing. So I'm going to switch the camera around to the one away from me. And let's see if that's going to work. There we go. Okay. So we'll go for a bit of a wander. Now I'm behind the camera. And you can see all of this. Hey, Timmy, wave to the audience, buddy.
Hey, Dave, how are you?
There we go. He's famous now. Okay, so as I say, that's camphor. Then we're looking at Australian cedar. Look at these things. Aren't they amazing? Hewn pine slabs. You want to see hewn pine? Here we go. All right, see these? Now, that's at my height now. And up we keep going. So that would be a good 10 feet tall. And again, red cedar. And please do not remove timber. Ask a team member. What would a show be with pen blanks? And all of these different finishes from organ oil at the trend stand. Some of the Rikon machines. Hello, have a look at this. Look at that. That is a 4 foot by 4 foot pallet down there that's sitting on. So we're having a quick browse around through this. Wood everywhere. And the place is starting to fill up. It takes a little while to fill up, but there was a heap of people here yesterday. Going past the saw stop demonstration. This is the part that I'm normally doing. Mark's there trying to sell a couple of machines. Okay, Supermax sander. And there's Cameron doing his thing. Don't smile, Cam. Laguna bandsaw. Everyone seems to love those ones. And there's Alan over there. We're going to come over and see Alan around about 11:30. He's going to do a bandsaw box for us. This is a chunk of timber that they've been having people come along and try and get it straight with the hand planes. We don't know how they're going yet. There's a bit of a competition. What else have we got here? Let's get up here to Gifkin's Jig. We're going past the sandpaper man. Okay, there's Cole up there. Oh, look at that. That's a good looking outfit up here. Stanton bench. G'day Ross, how are you? Here's Cole.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using what we call our rebate cutter. Okay, this is a Gifton's product. So that rebate cutter cuts a 4mm trench 5mm deep. Okay, so cutting that in some of these materials, you'll find that much material torn out all in one go creates tear out in the bottom of the trench. Now that tear out looks really, really ordinary when you're trying to get a nice flush clean surface. Okay, so when I cut my rebates, I do it in 2 passes. Okay, now those 2 passes are done with a different size bearing. Now that bearing comes in the kit. You can see it on the board there, little 19mm bearing. And what I'm going to do is just reduce my depth of cut down to 1.5mm, just by taking that bearing off, putting the other one on.
No pressure, Cole.
No pressure, mate. Hello out there in Daveland, how are you?
They're all good.
They're all good? Okay, so now when we set the height for that, as I said to you earlier, all I'm going to do is just have enough material there to carry out that shadow line underneath the box. Okay, so I'm going to set the height of that to 10mm. Now remembering we have a 4mm trench. Okay, if I set it at 10mm, that gives me 6mm to play with, and that's all you really need, because you're only creating a shadow line and 4 little points of contact. It only has to be a couple of millimeters. So we get that down to 10mm. Just to the top of the trench, top of the tooth. Doing it back and front, Dave.
That's all right, buddy. No pressure. No pressure.
Is that live?
It sure is.
I still haven't got it right.
That's all right. I'll look at the crowd for a second. Everyone smile for me, guys.
We're good now. We're good now. Okay, so I've got that set to 10mm. Now, the thing about this is, a little bit of safety first. So the first thing I'll do is I'll wrap around a bit of tape. Tape I'm using is just a fibre reinforced tape. And that'll just hold the box together. Now I do that with every box I make. Okay, just that safety thing, just to make sure.
Here's a tip, guys. You're getting this for free.
It doesn't.
Everyone else pays their $16 to get in the door. You're getting it for nothing.
Lucky buggers.
Aren't they lucky?
Now, once I've got that, it's not going to move anywhere, so it's going to stay put. The other thing that I'm going to do here, this is going to allow me to climb route. And climb routing means that I'm going to go the wrong way with a router bit. Okay, normally you go with the rotation of the router bit. What we're going to do is we're going to go, I'll rephrase that. Normally we go against the rotation of the router bit. This time we're going to go with the rotation of the router bit. And that means that the router bit is actually scooping out as we're moving along. I only do it when I'm doing little cuts, okay? If I'm using big cuts, I try not to back cut.
Okay, we're going to see a little bit of action here and then we'll move on to another one.
I'll just raise this up so you can see what's going on inside the box. Okay.
Here we go.
So, and so what we end up with is this beautiful clean surface, okay? You're trying to create a nice clean trench.
Okay, we're going to move on now from Cole. Thanks, Cole.
Hey guys.
See you later.
Everyone.
So we're going to move on past this fantastic stand here. And we're coming past Carbotech. Let's have a look here. So they've got the Veritas gear here, which is looking absolutely fantastic. And we've got the guys all working away down there. We've got Tell us about this shooting plane, Simon. We're live, buddy.
Well, it's the Veritas shooting plane. Instead of me talking about it, how about we talk about that board? Look at that end grain.
Have a look at that end grain then. Show me how good it is.
Look at that.
That is pretty good. Actually, it's closing up on Carbotech, so let me get. There you go. They can see it now. Beautiful. Excellent. And so why I believe the shooting boards have got not a 90-degree angle. It backs off ever so slightly. Is that true, or am I asking you a question out of left
You're
field?
asking somebody that doesn't know.
Okay, I'm sure you guys out there will be able to help me out with that. But I thought a shooting plane should be at 90 degrees, but I've been told by a few people it should be 89 point something to back the angle off. If you can help me out on the chat there, that'd be great.
Interesting.
Thank you very much, Simon. We can head off to another venue. Here we go. So we're going to go past. Oh, here's the go. There's a traditional guy here with a lathe that he's running with a stick. Now we're not having very good exposure here because it's got a lot of light behind him. So I'm going to move on from this one.
Live film for YouTube.
There you go. There's another guy.
G'day, Dave.
How you doing?
James from Fix the Fingers Woodworking. How you going?
I'm
mate?
very, very well. Hello, everybody there. You're not going to see me because you're against the
I'm going
light.
to glass.
There you go. That's better.
There you go. Well, this man's a bit of a champion of the Australian woodworking scene on YouTube.
I do a little bit, that's all.
He is. He's going live. I'm not brave enough to go live, so this will go up on my channel a little bit later. But just wanted to pop over and say hello, mate. How you going? Enjoying
I'm
the show?
very well. Yeah, enjoying the show very well.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's my first one.
Is it?
Oh, it's, just, it's great.
It's
stuff.
a buzz.
Yeah, I'll come and chat to you at the bench and let you do what you're doing.
Sounds great.
See you later, mate.
Okay.
Bye.
See you later. There you go. So we've I just flipped the cameras again. Oh dear. What are we going to see next? 11:15. I'm trying to work out who I was going to see and when. Let's go down and see Theo, because I think Theo's going to do this wood turning for me. I'll switch the cameras around again. Hopefully. There we go. All right. Back down this way. It's cut above. And what have we got down here? I have a heap of stuff from MacArthur Woodturners. We're going to come down, and Theo should be just about to put the chuck in for me. Look at all this stuff. And we've got all of these planes. Man, oh man, look at all these planes. 4.5, that's the same as mine, but an older version. All right. Handles. And for people in the know, this guy over here is Jim Davies. See him? So Jim's sharing his passion and love for planes. Actually, he's helping these guys out, taking their money off them. He's a very generous character, isn't he? How are you going there, Jim?
Good day. Watching.
Good, good, good. Look at how thin these shavings are that Jim does. That's amazing.
That's a thick one.
That's a thick one, is it, buddy? Oh dear. So we come back over here and we've got Theo, the wood turner. Theo's doing a couple of things, and he was going to turn up. He's forgotten all about it.
No.
He was going to turn something. This is Theo. Say hello, Theo.
Yeah, g'day everyone. How are you?
Good, good.
Hope you're enjoying the stream. Here we are at the wood show.
We got a few people watching.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
I can put that video on now.
Excellent. So I'll just switch the cameras around again. What's happened is, if you've been watching my live show, I've been rebuilding this dressing table that my great-grandfather made, and I've salvaged a piece of timber off it, and Theo is going to turn one of the finials for me. I've got one good finial, and he's going to turn another one from that. So he's already started, and this is part of the mirror support with the Australian cedar that he's put in there. And where's the original? There?
Oh, I couldn't find it. No.
There it is. So that's what I've given him. I've said, here's the challenge. So he's going to be safe, of course, and put his hood on. And he's going to make that out of that. So here we go. This should be very interesting, guys. There's no pressure, of course, there.
Not at all. The first thing I'm going to do is turn that ball. I'm just going to guess it.
So he's going to
Downhill.
guess turning downhill, turn a ball. Beautiful.
I could use the colour.
So at the moment, I'm behind this screen. So I'm behind a safety screen. Theo's got the headset on there, so he's not going to be endangered at all. But he's into it. So this is called turning downhill, is it, Theo?
Yeah, downhill.
So
Turn it forward there.
there's that little
Turn
ball.
the big steering wheel.
See that? He's doing this bit here.
I want like it. I'll put the calipers on here.
Yeah.
I'll do it this way if I can.
You're right, buddy.
Just missing. There it is. There. So that'll stop just in advance. I can check this and it will just be, well, there you go.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. I'll try and translate for you. He's saying the next measurement we're going to make.
Yeah.
Yep.
One here. Just about there.
There
How
you go.
close
You
are
guys
we?
can see that.
Yeah.
We're right on it.
Yeah, you're right on it.
Yep.
Does
That
look
looks pretty good. What do you guys out there think? I'm going to film the rest of it from here, Theo.
Yeah, okay.
That's brilliant.
That's fine. So now I just have to sweep that down. It's always good to actually hang something like
Yep.
down nice and close right there if you're going to duplicate it so you can see what's happening.
Right.
I'll just try and remember the thickness there. So again, we're cutting downhill
Another downhill cut.
and I'm slicing actually at 45 degrees.
Is that a fingernail gouge you're using?
It is.
Look at that.
Shallow
Not bad for
gouge
someone that doesn't do any
with a fingernail
turning.
grind. And it's always important to work your way up to the mark.
Right, work your way up to the mark, he's saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can see here I'm really practicing the shape before I get to it.
Yep. I'll move back a little bit so you can see what's happening.
Pick it up here, go in. Again, working my way up to the little sphere,
Yes, working his way up to it, up to the little sphere.
nearly at the diameter. It's a little bit flatter here.
Just had a comment. Someone notices you using a record power lathe.
I am. It's the Coronet Herald. It's the latest of their range, and it's a little beauty.
Excellent.
It
Nice and
does-
smooth.
It's very accurate. The best part about it, apart from it being, it's got 1 horsepower output,
Yep.
it's got a pivoting head, which I absolutely love.
Right.
I
So
think we
for
could
you
have
that
gone a little bit
aren't seeing
more
what's
there.
happening here, Theo's checking back all the time to what's happening here with the finial. And he's going to have another bit of a look at it. That's not bad, is it, guys? Now be aware that because the finial that he's coming from is dark, the lighter one is going to actually look a little bit bigger. It's just going to be a little bit of an optical illusion.
Or an optical delusion, as I
Delusion,
call it.
yes. Not only is he a turner, he's a comedian.
Yeah, no, it's a dad joke.
Excellent. And this is a parting tool, 1/8, is it?
Yeah, it's 1.5 millimeters.
Right, 1.5 millimeter parting tool.
Yeah,
Yep.
another 5 millimeter. Come down.
Right.
You shouldn't be holding more than one thing at a time.
No. He's got a special pocket that he puts everything in. Look at that.
That's what turners do, yeah.
Keep your smokes in there too, Theo?
That was a long time ago.
Long time ago for all of us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that right? I'm guessing that's about the diameter there, and I can go narrower here.
Right. So he's got it, the original in his hand that you can see. I'm going to just sneak around the back for a second there with the camera, so you can see what's happening.
Yeah.
Beautiful, excellent.
You can show them on the TV if you want.
Yes. So Theo's got it running here on the screen.
No, it's off the oil.
Okay.
Off the oil, yeah. That's not wax.
This board.
Yeah, that's the finish.
We got a customer coming in interrupting the show here, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
He's good. He's getting his.
Sorry, Theo, you're right.
So that's that there, and that's that there. We have to turn in between. How are you supposed to turn in between?
Sorry.
And so I have this little gouge here,
Yeah.
and it's in a 1/4 inch gouge.
Right.
And I'm going to work my way up to the mark, like this.
Yeah.
A little bit narrower.
Hi, Vincent, how are you?
allowing for sanding. Yeah. And this one here is the same. I'm going to work my way up to the mark.
So you're going downhill and uphill, are you?
No, we never go uphill.
Never go uphill.
Just tear the grain, yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm going down and I'm going to take this out.
Yeah. Again, this is what he's making. And he's working this area down the bottom here.
It's always so much easier when everybody's watching.
Yep. I'll come back over to the screen. Yep. Beautiful. Ah, this is amazing. Like, if you're not a wood turner, it doesn't really matter. What he's doing here is just brilliant. I love it. That's just brilliant. Pretty right? Whatever you want to do. They're going to be 4 foot away from each other, but you... Okay. Okay. Come back over here.
Pretty sure that's about the diameter. I don't want to go too far down here, I'll get vibration while I'm turning. I'm just looking at the thickness here. That's going to do it.
I reckon that's amazing.
Now you want me to part it straight off?
Yeah, part it straight off because I'm just going to put a dowel in it.
I could sand it and put finish on it? No.
If you want to, well, what do you reckon's on it?
Well, no, you've got to stain it.
I'll get it right. No,
But
just-
I can sand it.
if you can give it a quick sand, that'd be great.
Yeah. So when we look at something like this, you say, well, why would you? It's not exactly round here, actually. Because I haven't got it to. I didn't take it down to round because the dimensions were so critical.
Yep.
I can feel it. There's a little bit of a flat just there. So
Yeah.
let me just take one.
Beautiful.
A penultimate cut.
A penultimate.
Yeah. Never take a last cut because the tool starts to shake in your hand.
Okay. Is it a penultimate or is it a finial ultimate?
Ah, yeah. Well, there you go. What's that, Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're round now.
Beautiful.
I can go underneath.
This is amazing.
And the whole idea is to be moving as you engage the tool, so you can't even see where the cut started.
Right.
That's the real trick to getting the shape that you want.
Yep. Excellent.
And
A little bit of sander on it. What are you going to use? You're going to use just ordinary paper, or are you going to use a rotating disc of some sort, or not?
yeah.
Oh, look, I'm asking the questions, buddy. You're the pro.
Yeah, no, it's a matter of using, and remember you tear your paper because you don't want any sharp edges here just in case you touch your work and it marks it, particularly with cedar.
All right, okay.
Tear your paper and cut cloth, although you shouldn't really bring cloth anywhere near a lathe. Now look at that,
Coming up well?
yeah.
This is great.
So all your work is done with your first grip, and I've started here with 320,
Yes.
and you should always stop the lathe and have a look with your first grip. And just in there I could do with a little bit of work before it
Look at
stops.
that. Look at
That's
that.
pretty good.
And what would you normally take it to, Theo?
I'd take it to 600,
Right.
and then I'd use something like Triple E, which
Right.
is a UV product.
Yep.
And so it's pretty easy when you start at 320. And this is 400. Now remembering all your work is done with the first grip, so your
is just-
second grip,
Touching the fibres up now.
it doesn't take much time at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And using the colour-coded paper?
Yeah. This is, you remember you have to hold these a metre apart.
Right.
This is my last bit of 600 grip. It just comes up.
Well, you've inspired one of the guys to, as soon as he's finished watching the show, he's going to go straight out to his lathe.
Straight. Oh, yeah. Well, that's great. I could make that. Just want to make that a little bit flatter,
Right.
just so that the thickness here matches a little bit.
We're talking about a perfectionist here. There we go. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's a lot better. I'm happy with
Excellent.
that. And I think we're done. So I'll just put it. You really shouldn't. If you're going to stain it, you shouldn't even sand it past.
That's fine. Doesn't need it. You're going to part her off now?
I am going to part it off. Yeah.
Excellent. Here we go. This is the part that scares me.
Yeah. No. Well, I'll hold it from underneath so you can see it with the camera.
Right.
The great thing is that when you do part it off, you don't start where you want to finish.
You start away from where you want to finish.
Yeah, you work your way up, just taking fine cuts. Now I'm going to, this is a brilliant little record power tool.
Right.
Because it allows me to tilt and cut with that corner.
Yep.
Now this one, I probably won't undercut it too much. Normally with the parting tool you get a pretty poor finish.
Yes.
But with this, because I'm using that little corner, and it's important not to hold on too tight with those two fingers that are holding the finial.
Yes.
But the less pressure you put on it, the smaller the little piece that's going to be left.
Right.
And it will, I'm down to
Oh,
about
magic.
1/2 millimetre.
Beautiful.
There's a little bit of tear out, but
That's okay. Look, that's going to give the glue something to bond onto. Theo.
there you go.
Thank you very much for that. Pop them up side by side, buddy. Let's see if you're any good.
Yeah, we went a little bit slim.
That's all right. I'll tell you what.
I'll just take this off. I'll stay in the camera shot.
That's all right.
It is undercut and it will sit square, and there we are.
That's amazing. Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you.
coming
Okay.
It's my pleasure, Dave.
Excellent.
We all work together.
Look at that.
Life is a collaboration.
I think I'll need a chess set now, buddy.
That's for next year.
It is. Okay, thank you. What do you think about that? How cool is that? That's so generous of him to do that for us. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go over and see if he can do a bandsaw box for us. Remember he did it. I've got those finials in my pocket at the moment, so I'm going to try and find Ken. He'll be over at the trend stand somewhere. Not Ken. Oh goodness. I forgot. Alan, that's the guy that I'm looking for. Where is he? Okay, I'm looking. I'm looking through the trend stand and asked a couple of the guys here. There he is. There's Alan. And here's Chris from Robert Sorby. And we'll come and see Chris in a little bit. But this is Alan here. And he's making a bandsaw box as we watch. Look at this. That's not bad timing, is it? You're going to give us a wave, Alan, while you're doing that? Beautiful.
Say hello to Master Yoda.
Master Yoda. All right, so what we've got up on the bandsaw here is they're a bit cheeky. So we'll come back round now, see what Alan's doing. I'll come in a little closer. Alan makes this look so easy. Come back so you can see the man himself. Now, Alan was telling me the last show he's about 105. Is that the right age?
Very close.
Very close. How old did Yoda actually get?
Alan's in his 80s.
In his 80s. There you go. Ah! I think he's in his 70s.
Please the video camera to get that one.
Pardon?
How are you, brother?
I'm well. We're streaming live.
We've got two going.
Got two going.
Yeah.
I'll turn the other one around. We've got a third.
Not as good as what you used to have up on the screen.
No, but you can do what you can from a phone.
The battery runs out.
The battery will be fine, I think. So have you come here to buy one of my benches today, have you?
You've got one of your benches here, have you?
I've got a full stand just around the corner.
Alright, I'll go and have a look in a minute.
Yep. Well, John's up there running everything for me at the moment. We're focusing on what Alan's doing.
Yeah, maybe too.
Okay, likewise. This is a very rare thing for you guys to be seeing. Alan has got his boxes are in very high-powered people's places. I think Prince Charles has got them, and I think that also a couple of American presidents have some of his boxes. Wait till this is finished, and he puts it all together. You lock it together with an elastic band. What size blade is that you got there, Al?
Quarter inch.
Quarter inch.
6 PPI.
6 PPI. I reckon he might be done.
I am done.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. You'd reckon he'd done it before, wouldn't you? There we go. Watch the drawers will come out. Magic. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, that was it.
There's more elastic
The
bands
boxes
that
are
way
better
up.
than the bloody crappy elastic bands you gave him. Look at that. And look at the lucky lady just got one given to him.
That's your homework.
That's right.
Thank you very much, Alan. See you later. So what do you think about that? See, I try and give you as much as I can without boring you too much. I didn't want to just drop in on Alan or on Theo and walk away from you super quick, because that would have been just, you know, the experience. I lined all of them up to go for it. Now, what I've also lined up with Chris over at the Sorby stand, and Chris Pouncey is a world-renowned turner from England, and he was going to do a little bit of sharpening for me, but he's got something else in the lathe right at the moment. So there's Chris there, behind the screen. He's got his safety gear on. And what are you turning there, Chris?
Trying to turn something round.
Turn it round.
Not doing a very good job of it.
Wow, look at that. Are you using a wobble chuck?
I am.
Look, I listen to you now and then. That's amazing. Look at
It's
that.
nice to hear that, Dave.
Chris is a talent. Chris has just finished the New Zealand tour, and he's just started the Australian leg of his tour. I think you're just doing the East Coast, are you, Chris? The East Coast of Australia?
And West.
And West, so whereabouts are you off to
So
after?
I'm here, then Melbourne, Tasmania, Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane.
Excellent, excellent. And then
The whole month.
the whole month.
Yes.
Are you missing your home?
Yes.
Sucker.
Of
So,
course.
Chris, are you
I'm
able
missing
to?
the better weather.
Are you able? Oh, well, there you go. Are you able to show us something with the Pro Edge?
I can indeed. Yeah.
Now, this is the Pro Edge down here. Now, I've done a video on this a little while ago for Chris. Let's remember that Sorby, I reached out to Sorby's and asked them if I could have one of these, and they were fantastic. But I've only ever done bench chisels and planes with it. Now, Chris is going to show us a little bit on doing some turning tools.
Excuse me.
Cool.
Right. So, we have a table here,
Yep.
which shows me which angle I want to set the table at on here. I'm going to do a spindle roughing gauge to start with. That's a 45-degree angle, according to my chart.
Beautiful.
And it's quite simple. We turn the machine on, and I see sparks coming off,
So you're doing both wings to start.
and then I just blend the two together,
That's amazing.
and I get that.
Did you sharpen that on a Tormek first before you did that one,
No.
Chris?
No,
I'm a
no,
cheeky
no.
bastard.
You know damn well I didn't. I only ever sharpen my tools on one of these now.
Right.
This is a bowl gauge, same again, 45-degree angle.
Yes.
Again, sparks coming off. Now with this, we can roll the tool right the way round.
What grid have you got in there, Chris?
This is a 120 ceramic belt.
Yes.
They are a little more expensive than the standard zirconium belts, but well worth the extra money.
Okay. Now, can you tell me also with the titanium nitrate coating on the gouge, because that's something a lot of people don't understand.
Right.
With the tool steel.
This is a standard M2 high-speed steel tool
Right.
right here. So this is exactly the same as all the tools you see up there.
Yes.
It has a Rockwell hardness of 58 to 62. What we do is we put a titanium nitride coating on these.
That's the
This is
gold
our-
stuff.
This is our Excelsior range,
Yes.
yeah, the gold stuff. Engineers have been using it on drill bits for many, many
Right.
years. Now what it does is it doesn't actually make the tool sharper, it holds the edge longer.
Right. So on
Conservative,
the Rockwell,
conservative Rockwell about 90.
about 90.
So about 50% more.
And in comparison to carbide, tungsten.
Well, tungsten carbide will never be as sharp as high-speed steel, but it's a lot harder.
Right.
It's to do with the size of the grain.
Okay.
So tungsten carbide tips, which are very popular, will last a long time, but you'll never get the level of sharpness.
Yeah.
So you won't get the finish from the tool that you can with a
Right.
properly sharpened.
And I'm going to ask you another
high-speed steel.
question.
Yes.
Why is all the titanium nitrate, whatever, on the outside of the tool where it's not cutting, and why don't you just put it on the inside?
Because these are dipped.
Okay.
And
Now-
if we could find a way of actually just coating the flute, we would. Because that is just pretty. It doesn't actually make any
I
difference.
actually knew that as.
Yeah, cool. I know you did.
Because Chris told me. Okay.
So, do you want to do some more?
Yeah, let's do one more and then I'll move on to someone else.
Right, well, I'll do a fingernail profile. This is a grind that many wood turners want to do.
Yes.
So, just find your bits. So I've taken the table off and put that on.
Yes.
Now, the whole thing about this Pro Edge sharpening system is the repeatability.
Yep.
So when we're sharpening on the table, I've always got this chart. I can always follow the angles that I want. With the fingernail profile, the angle is set by the protrusion of the tool through the holder.
Right, okay, so that's your jig.
There.
Yep.
So this is the Pro set. So I want 45 degrees, I just go in.
Yes.
And that gives me the 45 degrees.
Yep.
Again, repeatable. So now this again, we sharpen the wings then the middle. So
Okay.
one wing there, take it off, one wing there, and then just blend the middle together.
Right.
And we end up with
That looks
one
pretty
nice
good.
single clean sharp bevel.
Excellent.
And that's all we need.
Beautiful. Thank you very
you,
much for
Dave.
that, Chris.
See you later.
I got to keep moving around.
Right.
Switch it around back to me again. There you go. That wasn't too bad. That's Chris Pouncey from Robert Sorby's. And as I said, I'm useless at doing turning tools. I'm useless at turning. But these guys, these are masters. And so I'm trying to share that with you. Next we're going to go possibly out up to see Dean Alexander. Now Dean is a Maori carver. Hold on, we're going past a very important stand here. This is my little stand that I've got set up. So I'm away from it for the moment. I've got the screen running there, and I've done a 3-hour operation, shortened it down to 3.5 minutes with the machine. So we've got it all set up. We'll move past Arbortech, which is rabbit carving. And we're going to go up to, as I say, Dean. So you can see the crowd is starting to build a little bit at the moment. I think people have just been waiting for lunch. So there he is. There's Dean. He's just got a big chisel out and he's doing some carving straight away. Hey Dean, how are you?
Yeah, good thanks, mate.
Good, good. Now what gouge are you using there, or is this just a straight blade?
No, this is a number 2. So
Right.
it's got a very slight curve,
Yes.
25mm wide.
Yep.
Yeah, so it gives a...
Now, what actually inspires you to get the right chisel? Is it just knowledge from time, or is there a set thing that you were taught when you were younger?
No, I haven't. I've never been taught how to carve. This is all...
Is
I'm all
that the
self-taught,
traditional
so
way for your?
It's traditional carving,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm self-taught.
Right.
So
And
it's come from in here, not through here.
Okay. And so in the Maori world of carvers, would you be rated as one of the good ones, or do you feel as though that you're probably better than the rest?
No, I never
I'm trying to embarrass the big
got to
fella.
be humble.
Yeah, of course you do. So I reckon your work is beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, no, a lot of
But,
people inspired from what I achieved and my journey.
Yep.
To,
Do you break it down with a chainsaw to start, Dean, to get it into the right shape?
To stay away from those tools.
Okay.
You know, everyone thinks of trying to speed up the process.
Yep. So what's this one you're working on?
So this is one of my wife's chiefs from the far north.
All right.
Yeah, here is a renowned chief that dealt with colonisation and whatnot, and yeah,
So this is on the North Island?
on the North Island, the
Right.
far north.
Yep.
So when I say the far north, right up the top.
And have you put any epoxy resins in there down the end to
Yeah.
hold it so it doesn't split at all?
Yeah, so there is epoxy in here, but the purpose of epoxy is not just to fill the void, it is to bind the timber together
Right.
and hopefully prevent that crack from continuing.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work, but a lot of the times it does.
Right. And what type of timber is that?
It's silky oak.
Silky oak? Far north or?
No, this silky oak from Australia.
Right.
But getting back to the chainsaw, I cut this from a log laying on the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a fairly big tree.
Right. And it had been dead for a while, had it?
Hadn't been dead for a while, no. It had come from the tree loppers, so in a way you're salvaging the timber because it would only been wood chipped and.
Correct.
Yeah.
So do you work on it green or do you prefer seasoned timber?
I prefer seasoned timber.
Yeah.
But because the timber's so large, it's a process. So ideally, is you can rough it out and then seal it in wax to slow down that drying process.
Yes.
And then down the track, get back to it.
Excellent. And so these guys here, that you've done all of these ones, of course. And are these other chiefs, or they've got a significance?
Chiefs, yeah. So, back in the day, we never had a written language, so carving was a way of recording your genealogy, and it was the important that were carved.
Yes.
Because everything was passed on orally or
Yep.
from memory.
Is there any significance up here, or is this just ornate that you're doing?
No, this is what we call tamoko. And then back in the day, this was like having your resume written on your face.
Right.
You know, it's to do with your genealogy, to do with your traits. Might have been an expert at gardening,
Yes.
which back in the day was important. Because
Of course it would have been.
Put food on the table.
Yes.
Today, you just go to the shop and buy it. So, yeah, those practices are...
And he doesn't look too happy there, Dean. What's the story there?
No, well, this guy here, his name is Takoti.
Yes.
And at that time when he was around, the government were taking our land.
Right.
You know, they would accuse you of doing something just in order to create some conflict and then come and take the land. But this guy here, wouldn't have a bargain. He put up a fight.
Right.
But, the government eventually caught him and arrested him.
Yes.
Put him on a boat, took him all the way to the Chatham Islands, and locked him up. But fortunately, 2 or 3 years later, this guy managed to escape from jail,
Yes.
free the rest of the prisoners,
Yes.
commandeer a ship, sail all the way back to New Zealand, and
Yep.
carry on terrorising the government.
Good on him. So is this all written on the story here, or is that extra
these
to it?
This is all to do with his genealogy and symbolism from his region. Different symbolism for different regions.
Yes.
But in the end, just to show this guy is doing the right thing, he was given a pardon
Right.
from the government. So he was never prosecuted because he was following his truth.
Yeah.
And what a great story that is.
That is a great story. Dean, I'm going to have to leave you with it.
Yep.
Thank you very, very much.
Thanks for spending the time.
Look, I've learned something today. I never knew that all of this and also the tattooing on people's faces was for a reason.
Yeah, it's all for a
So
purpose.
that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, now I see there's some comments on the side. I'm not I'm not watching them too much. What we're going to do now is we're going to duck up to the where are we going? We're going up to see guitar making and also violin and CNC carbine, and then we're going over to the blacksmith and the sawmill. So here we go. And first of all, the drums. No, first of all, the guitar band. Here we go. Hi guys. So this is the Australian Guitar Making School, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And your names?
Steve Toscano.
And
Martin Taylor.
Martin Taylor and Steve. Excellent. So you're
I'm bending some sides.
bending some sides and you have a mould that you put them in.
I will, yeah. I'll
Yep.
bend them 2 goes on this, and then I'll put them in.
Yep. Okay, there's the mould
Like
there.
that.
And so what's this? What this is just a chunk of steel with that's very hot.
With an element inside. It's about 250 degrees.
And so how is it getting the moisture? You're spraying it? Okay. Spray it on.
It's just pure water. It's just water
And
out.
basically this is an iron.
yeah,
shape.
essentially it's a hot iron.
Yep. So there's something else I've learned today. This is amazing. And you
So-
do that a couple of times before you get it to the right.
Before I get it to the right shape, and I'll put it in the mould. And
See, the
force
funny
it
thing
into
is,
shape.
I would have thought this is going against the grain of what you're doing, because normally when fibres are wet and swollen, they expand.
Yes.
But you're making them actually contract, or you're forcing them to get smaller.
Yeah, well, I'm forcing him to let go, essentially, with
Are
the
you?
water, with the steam.
Okay.
Yeah, the water in there goes to steam. And
So you're affecting the cellular structure a bit. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So this is the mold.
Yeah, that's one of the guitar molds. So this is for a particular shaped guitar.
And what's it called, this particular
This
shape?
particular shape's called the Tassie. The Tassie.
The Tassie. Look out.
There you go.
And tell me the story about why it's called the Tassie.
it was designed in Hobart.
Yeah,
Designed in Hobart.
It's a crossover between a steel string shape and a classical shape.
Steel string and classical
allows
crossover.
You to do both guitars on the same shape.
Excellent. This is amazing. And does it take you long to make these molds up?
No, the molds I can pump out in about 2 hours.
Right.
So it doesn't take long. It's not the making that takes time, it's the designing and thinking through the shape and making sure you've got something that's appropriate for what sort of guitar you're making.
Right.
Guitars in their various shapes and sizes produce all different outcomes. So depending on what you're after, you
Yep.
can custom shape it today.
Some of these are student guitars. Actually, a lot of them are student guitars. So.
Student guitars, yeah. There are students
I think
that
they're made
they've
by
made it by your students.
Yeah.
This one. So you can see the quality of the guitar.
Yes.
Sounds absolutely wonderful.
Lovely. And you guys can all play? Is that one of the things that you have to do?
We can play like weekend hackers.
Can you play? Can you play Stairway to Heaven?
Well, it's banned in most workshops.
It's the only song I can play on a guitar.
And some of our students don't play at all.
Yep.
And some of our students go right up to professional players.
Excellent.
So,
Actually,
yeah,
the
there's
guy that
a
made that
range.
guitar is a professional touring user.
Yeah.
Right.
And uses that guitar.
Excellent. Okay. Look, thank you very much, guys. I'm going to move on to the drums. Thanks again. Here we go. So what we have here are these little drums.
So it's just a block.
And these things are fascinating. Can we have a little bit of a sound?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Hang on. Come on.
Who's gonna be the? I've got a lot of light behind you there, so I've got to try and get around so we don't have so much of a background. There we go. Now these have different tones. What are you aiming for? Do you know that these are particular notes that you're looking for? Or are you just having fun?
I've been trying to figure out the Little Mermaid, but I can't quite get
The Little
it.
Mermaid.
Yeah.
Is that the Little Mermaid that could? Is that like the little engine that could? Something like that?
So different timbers produce different.
What type of timber is this one?
So this one is called Purple Heart.
Yes, that
It's
sounds
a
beautiful.
South American timber.
Yep.
This one is called Peduk,
Paduke, yes.
an African timber.
Yep.
But the sides can be all Australian native timber.
Yes.
So this one is silky oak,
Yep.
snakewood.
Right.
Yeah, that's purple
Marble
heart
Purple
again.
Heart. Yep.
And we call them tongue drums because of this one of which I call tongues.
Yes.
That's 4 tongues,
Yep.
and that's about 6.
Is it actually a business card?
Yes. Beautiful. Excellent. All good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I hope we're still broadcasting live. We're going to go through here. There's a few people behind me who are actually making the drums. So that's great. Now we're coming up to the guy doing violins. They've kept all of the musical people in one room. Here we go. Look at these bodies here. I think this is probably a violin kit. And we have the different molds. And then we go to this gentleman. What's your name, sir?
Luke.
Luke. So Luke, and I've got a whole lot of light behind you, Luke. That's better. I can see you now.
Yeah.
And Luke, how long have you been making violins for?
I'm from 1974.
1974?
Yeah.
Yep. And have you got anyone famous has bought your violins?
Sorry?
Has anyone famous a famous violinist. Anyone very, very famous bought your violins?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good. But we're not going to know who it is, obviously. Not going to tell us his name? No, but don't worry, let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So what are you doing here?
Now do the scraper for the. This might beside the viola.
The viola, not a violin.
This,
Okay.
This the viola. I start to design this viola.
Yes.
I because I make this for 5 string.
Right.
You see, normally viola 4 string.
Yes.
Or maybe violin 4 string.
And why are you doing
So
a 5-string?
I decided this on 5 string. This mix viola and violin.
Right. Yes.
So I do the 5 string.
Yeah. And what type of timber is this?
But this the spin maple from Europe. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The top one use the spruce.
It's spruce.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. And the back and the side use the.
And this is the scraper you're using.
Yeah.
I've never seen a scraper that thin.
I make.
You make it.
Yeah. Or violin tools. Some people like make.
Right.
Different. Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot of work. How many hours does it take you to make a violin?
Oh, I think for the good one, maybe take a handmade or handmade. 100 hours.
100 hours for a handmade.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because do the varnish more time. The varnish very slow.
Right.
Yeah, you different the furniture because furniture is to spy and one to cold, one we finish. For the violin string instruments, you do the varnish very slow to dry.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, thank you very much for sharing that information with me. I might drop in on the way back.
Yeah.
Have a look at these. How nice are they? Oh, look, this one's had an accident. No, it hasn't. it's just revealing it in a section. Oh, look, that's how it's supposed to be. Amazing. Alrighty. Oh, and we've got cellos. I'm surprised I knew that. And then we're going to come over to Carbine CNC. How are we going?
Good, Dave. Very good.
Good, good.
Dave, viewers.
Yes. So this is a CNC that's just doing some drawings because they're not allowed to make a whole lot of noise with the spindle because it would get the drums. So there's the drawing up there. Oh, and I'll come around the side here. We can see it now. That's a pretty famous guy. And you can see the coordinates as the machine is tracing out what it's trying to draw. So you'd have to be Einstein to run one of these. So this is a CNC that also doesn't have belts. It's running on small stepper motors and running against the geared section there and the linear rails. See, take me back a year and I wouldn't have known any of that. And around here you've got the sensor. So that's the sensor for the y-axis. Is that a Fusion Percy? Inductive sensor. Okay. But it's not that's the name of the company that does it? Inductive?
Ayatora, they're an American.
Ayatora, okay. And are these little 20 or 22 stepper motors?
NEMA 23s.
NEMA 23?
And NEMA 34s.
Yeah. Yep. I've got the NEMA 34s on mine, I think for the bigger, more demand. But it seems to be doing a great job. It's a bit slow on the drawing. I could have done a bit more drawing than that by now.
We slowed it right down though, so
Because you knew I was coming. Alrighty. Okay. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Dave.
We'll keep on moving along and go outside. He said, "Get away from the drums." They're going for it. Look at them. Now we're going to go outside to the. I hope you can hear me. We're going to go outside to the sawmills and also to the blacksmith. Now he's got 2 forges out there. They're not coal-fired, they're gas, but he does have coal forges, he said earlier. So you hear all that noise? Yep. So you can see the people behind me as we're tracking out, and the reason I've got it on me, apart from being so handsome, the reason I've got it on me is because there's a whole heap of stuff here that isn't really all that interesting. Who's that handsome fellow? We're live. Ah, that's Steve. He's the manager at a store in Sydney. I'm not going to tell you the one. You didn't realise we were live. Okay, so we've got a couple of mills out here. There's a Lucas mill. And we've got these guys over here. And this is the turbo sawmill. And what's your name, sir? Hold on, he's got to give a brochure away first. What was your name?
Stanley.
Stanley, Dave.
How do you today?
Very well. So I had a word to you earlier about whether we could have a bit of a look at this machine running.
Yeah.
And you said it'd only take a minute or so?
Yep, well, here we go.
Let's do it. Now this runs on a blade instead of a chainsaw, correct? Right. Where would my best place to watch it be? Where's my best vantage point? Over the other side? Probably over here. All right, I'll come over here. I hope you guys can see all right. So he's got the blade spinning like crazy. Oh, that's pretty quick. I don't know what he was doing there. Maybe he was just leveling it off. It does look like there's water coming through. Oh no, he did the cut into the side. There you go. Cut.
Sorry, Dave.
You're all right. Not a problem. He's going to go again. So he's cutting 4x1s at the moment, is he?
For either 12 or 15, so I'll be making fruit boxes out of them.
They'll be making which out of it? Fruit boxes.
We're going for display.
Right. The type of timber?
Sugar gum.
Sugar gum. Where's that from?
Manor gum down Melbourne.
Right.
What the koalas eat.
It's the trees the koalas eat.
Yep.
You bastard. I'm sure they're dead before you take them away from the food chain.
Yes.
Good. My viewers will be happy.
These were roadside clearing.
Right, okay. Excellent. And so you feed water into it at the same time as you're cutting?
Yes, so the blade keeps cool.
Right, so similar to using a drill in steel.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Otherwise it heats up too much
Yep.
and you lose your temper.
So it loses the duck, goes dull.
No, not the dullness. It's actually the heat.
The blade starts to warp.
The blade warps. Yep.
Right, okay. There's something else I learned today.
There you go.
They do it also for bandsaws, I notice they feed water in now. Is that the same thing to keep the heat down, to stop
Yes,
it?
correct.
To make it hold its set?
Yep.
Yep.
And so they have some chance of cutting out hardwood.
Excellent. All right, thank you very much for that. We'll head over here. Now this is the blacksmith. He's out of the sun a bit, so it's going to be a little bit easier. So here we go. We've got some of the stuff that the blacksmith's been doing. And am I able to come in and have a bit of a look and see some thumping? Come round. I've got to come around the outside here. Now I'm going to be shooting into the sun a little bit, so hopefully I can keep away from that. There we go. So is it nothing in there yet? Yeah, we're live, guys. We're live on YouTube.
Hello.
How you doing? What's your name?
I'm Toby.
Toby? Okay.
How you doing?
It's my YouTube channel, Dave Stanton, Building Tips.
Yep.
So we've just been through the whole show. I came and saw the guys here earlier. They said, yep, not a problem. I want to see some steel being thumped. This guy's facing the wrong way for me.
He's facing the wrong way. What you could do though, if you go around that way, you'll be able to see a bit better.
I duck under and go straight up beside him. Hold on, I'm being told too many things here. I go right round. There we go. And what's this gentleman's name?
Phil,
Phil. How are you, Phil?
this guy's live on YouTube. What was the channel called? Dave Stanton Building Tips.
Well, Dave's Build Tips or just Dave Stanton, both will get me.
Both will get you?
Yep.
There you go. Cool.
So what kind of temperature have we got in that forge? Around 1,000 degrees Celsius?
Something like that, yeah.
And it's just standard gas? Standard gas, yep. LPG. Yeah, that bloody sawmill's a racket, isn't he? Between you thumping away there, the mill and the drums inside. Right, there we go. What are you making, guys?
This one is going to be a tiny little twisting knife.
A little knife, right? Okay, it's going to be the same as...
It's going to be a little whittling knife.
Let's see if he's got one.
These are the sort of things that we're making today. So they're all obviously heat treated and pre-ground to shape. That's like a big barbecue knife.
Yep.
And then just basic sort of knives to go in the little portfolio.
So you're going to clean them up on this grinder over here?
Yeah, they'll get cleaned up on that one.
On the belt start, yep.
And this one's for sharpening, like finished knives.
Right. Excellent. Thank you very much, guys.
Too easy.
Thanks a lot. See you later. To which one?
There you go.
There we go. We've got a few more knives down here.
Giraffe bone handle.
Yep. Beautiful.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Alrighty. Thanks, guys.
See you, Dave.
Okay, I'm reading. He didn't think I was interested in turning. It's amazing. Hold on. I can't see any more of the comments. All right, where are we? I think we've seen just about everything to see. There's a whole lot more timber here. How you doing? Good. There's a whole lot more timber here, but I think we've just about covered the show in its entirety. Move down over here. Now this show is at the Rosehill Racecourse in Sydney. You like? Did you like all of that? Excellent. All right, I'm going to show you the where we are. This is Rosehill Racecourse, and so out there, of course, is the track. You need to see John's stuff. All right, well, we'll go and see John's stuff. Not a problem. Hold on a second. We'll come past some of these burls. I don't know how, as I'm moving along, I don't know how good the images are going to be. I'll switch it back. Hey, Candy. All right, so past all of the eating section here. We'll get back down to John. Have a look at these things. Look at these monster cars. They're raffling off. They're massive.
Winner takes the truck of their choice. If you don't like trucks, I've got cars.
Winner takes the truck of their choice.
Cars, take the holiday.
Hold on a second, we'll get down and see John.
I go to my concrete sander. 600.
All right, we're nearly there. So we've got John here. He's actually selling my stuff at the moment.
An excellent cabinet, mate. I've got one of those.
Give us a smile, John. Okay.
Live on the show today.
Yep. So that's John is busy at my stand while I'm doing the show, and we've got Julia here saying hi. And this is John's display with all of his fantastic creations. So they don't want to take any home today.
Please don't take them.
So please come in and buy, so he doesn't have to load the car up to get back to Canberra. So he's got male, female on a 45-degree angle to connect the expandable dust hose. Going through here, the new dust port for the Craig jig. and also the seal parts there. He's cut these all out for keeping all your gears together. These things here that lock onto the underside of a Craig bench clamp. And what else we got here? Oh, look out, there's a pencil case. This is one that I made for Vicky. And so we're doing the plans here as well, and also online. I think that's about it. That's the yellow box shed. You can see that all happening over here.
The tall ones are designed to have a screw through.
And these guys, John's trying to convince them that this is the best thing since sliced bread, of course. And I'll turn around the other way. You like that? Thanks for watching, everybody. They're trying to talk to me. I'm talking to you guys. Okay. Someone says hi, Julia. I don't know who it was. I'm just trying to keep up with what's happening to the show. All right. Thanks for everyone for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you all next week from the workshop rather than being at the show. And be nice to each other. I'll see you all later. Bye.